Hi, I'm Chris Richardson, founder of Power-Induced Design. You probably already heard me say that I spend my working hours designing and testing power supplies. When I'm not working, I like to play the drums. Excellent stress relief, and lately I've been getting more and more use out of an arcade video game machine that I built together with my friend Sammy back in good old Guadalajara, Spain. If you're a 90s era arcade fan, this button layout should look very familiar. What makes my arcade controls different from most is this line of switches. When in the down position, the buttons work normally. In the up position, the button in question toggles continually, automatic fire style, as long as the button is held down. After a lot of testing, I found that 20 times per second was just about perfect. I'll admit that my Power-Induced Design arcade video machine is not exactly a power electronics, but I did put some special circuits in it. My friend Sammy, the architect, helped me build it, and besides a standard setup here, it also has these special switches. And these let you have automatic turbo fire for any button that you wish to have. People build some amazing video arcade cabinets. A lot of them are simply works of art. For my part, I wanted an arcade machine that looked like a piece of hardwood furniture. Mine is solid beechwood and it weighs a ton, but I love how it looks with the natural wood grain. If you x-ray the control board, this is what you'd see underneath. The bottom of the control deck actually slides forward. It holds a keyboard since I use a PC to control everything. And so you can see the amazing array of cabling, and then the two TurboFire PCBs here and here. They add automatic repeat to all 6 arcade buttons, and also the left and right mouse buttons just in case. I'm a big fan of analog electronics. If I was better at programming, I probably could have coded this. I now know enough Arduino to do it with baby step microcontrollers. But this circuit is very simple and very robust, and barely uses any power at all. Sometimes analog is still the best way to go. Now, arcade buttons are simple switches we engineers call single pole, single throw, or SPST. Electrically, they look like button 1 here. They're open circuit unless your finger presses the button. Then you get that oh so satisfying click, and the 2 terminals short circuit together. Here's a real switch left over from the project. I can almost smell the ozone. SW1 is the toggle switch, also an SPST, that pokes out of the top of the control deck. When it's open circuit or toggled up, the LTC6995 oscillates to 50% duty cycle at 20 Hz as long as you hold button 1 down. The pulses are inverted by Q1 and sent to the computer. When switch 1 is closed or toggled down, button 1 controls the SW1 net directly. When I was little, I couldn't even tell you how many quarters I pumped into machines like this. My poor dad just about went crazy. In any case, a lot of my favorite games were ones where you start off with an airplane and you just have a sad little bullet. This one a lot of people would probably remember. It's called Riding. So if we look down here, my auto switch is off, and if I hold down the button, it just shoots, I don't know, maybe every half second or so. But if I put it on turbo fire, then I've got the advantage of, well, slightly cheating the game, but also not getting dreaded carpal tunnel syndrome. When I was 8 or 9, I actually wore blisters into my thumbs playing Galaga, one of the first so-called shooter video games. There's even a name for this condition, Nintendo thumb. Talk about a disease from my generation. But in all seriousness, carpal tunnel syndrome is something that can put a musician out of business. It's a swelling of the median nerve as it passes through the bones in your wrist, and pressing an arcade button several thousand times each time you play is a good way to get this bad problem. It could prevent me from soldering, prevent me from drumming, prevent me from playing Galaga, and that would take a lot of joy out of my life. That's it for episode 2. If you happen to be in rural western Spain, I challenge you to a game of Street Fighter. You can pick which version. I promise to leave the turbo fire buttons off if you do too. Hope to see you next time for episode 3.